Hey loves, today I want to talk to you about one word that is going to make a world of difference in your life if you start using it a lot more, and that is the word no. So before I get into this, today is a little bit different because I'm going to talk to both single people and people who are in relationships, so make sure you listen up. And two, I know that some of you are going to hear this and be like, yeah, Keisha, we know you talk all the time. Set boundaries, make sure you have great boundaries. And it is true. And I talk about it all the time because it is so important. So, for those of you who are single, here's what happens when you don't use the word no often enough. Number one, you're going to have incredibly well meaning friends, family members, maybe church members who are going to see that you're single and are going to see it as a situation that needs to be fixed. Your singleness is your choice, for starters, but in the process of them trying to fix it, they are going to set you up with people that you don't want to go out with. So when you don't know how to say no, you're going to end up going on incredibly crappy dates because someone set you up or because he seems so nice and you don't want to hurt his feelings or whatever other frankly dumb excuse that you're going to come up with for doing something that you don't want to do. And you're going to go on a bunch of terrible dates and then you're going to start getting jaded. And then when you actually meet someone who's quality, you're going to go into it with the mindset of, oh, this is going to be yet another crappy date. And you're going to start setting yourself up for that expectation, and you're going to start seeing more and more of it into your life. Number two, you have to make space for love. So when I say make space, I'm talking about your energetic space. So if you keep saying no to things that you want to say yes to, if you keep saying yes to things that you want to say no to, then you will have the other thing happen, because every time you say yes to something, that means that there are other things that you can't do. So you miss out on opportunities for things that you really want. But also, when you keep saying yes to things that you want to say no to, you end up putting a lot of negative energy on yourself. You end up constantly feeling drained, constantly feeling tired. Hey, Melisha, you end up feeling just blah all day. So because of that, you don't show your best self. You don't show your best personality. And then you end up limiting your opportunities for relationships in that area, because when you go on a quality date, the person that you're out with, he looks at you and he's like, why is she so tired? Why is she so unhappy to be here? She seems like she would rather be in bed right now. Why is she so low energy? They can feel and usually clearly see by your baggy eyes or whatever else is happening that you are tired, that you don't really have the energy or the space to be there, and negative energy transfers. So when you're around people who are constantly negative, when you're around people who are constantly a weight on you, constantly asking you to do things that you don't want to do, and then you go ahead and do them, you end up taking in all that negativity yourself. But also, not only are you making space by saying no energetically, you are literally making space for love. So what that means is that when you get in a position where you are saying no to things that you don't want to do, you have more time on your hands. So you can put yourself out there more, so that you have more opportunities to meet people in places where you want to meet people, in ways that you want to meet people, instead of sitting around and hoping that somebody will for once set you up on a date with someone who is actually decent. Now, this is to my people who are in relationships already, who are already dating, or you already have a boyfriend, or you're already married. For you, it is also just as important to use the word no more often, because when you are constantly saying yes to things, whether that is opportunities to volunteer for an organization you don't want to volunteer with, but you're afraid that you'll look like a bad person because you say no, or your family members want you to do something for them and you really don't have the time, you legit don't have the energy, but you say yes anyways because you would feel bad for saying no. Or you get asked to hang out with a friend who, frankly, you may love this friend, but right now you already know that they're about to be about some drama, so you would rather just avoid it right now and again keep your energy clear. When you say yes to those things that you want to say no to, here's what happens. Once again, you constantly feel tired. You constantly feel drained. And when you're in a relationship, then you go home and you take these things to your partner and they get sick of you complaining all the time. Or even if you don't say a word, you take that energy home to your partner and they're constantly wondering, what the heck is wrong with her? Like, seriously, why is she always in such a crappy mood? Why is she always so drained? Why is she always tired? She used to be so much fun. I don't know what the heck happened to her. You have to always do what is in your best interest. And I know that doesn't sound like the good girl, good Christian thing or whatever to say, but when you act in your best interest, then you have the energy to be good to other people. You have the energy to frankly be good to the people that matter. Because I'm going to be really real with you for a second. How often are you good to people for the sake of being nice, for the sake of being polite, for the sake of being a good girl or whatever? And these are people that you really don't care that much about. These are people that your life would be better for it if maybe you saw them a little bit less often. And meanwhile, you spend all of your time saying yes to these people when you have family members that you actually love, not the toxic ones. You have friends that you actually love, not the associates. You have your partner if you're already in a relationship, or you have potential dates that you could be going out with who are quality. You spend all this time trying to please people that you really should not be caring about, and you're frankly screwing up your relationships with people that you should be caring about. As the title of this video says, no is a complete sentence. And the more often you learn to say it, the more often you learn to say things, hey Dina, by the way, the more often you learn to say no to things that you don't want to do, so that you have the space and the energy to say yes to what you do want, the more fulfilled your life will be. And once you're able to start saying no more often, again, just say it. Just say no, not a snowball's chance in hell, not gonna do it, nah boo, however you want to say it. Once you learn how to start saying that more often, you will find that all of a sudden you have way more energy. You become a way better person. You become a more loving person. Hey Courtney, you become a more loving person to the people who actually matter in your life. So with that in mind, maybe you should do two things today. One, take inventory of the people who actually matter in your life, because everyone else, not your problem, boo. Say no to them all the time if you want to. And then to the people who do matter in your life, start getting really clear on what it means to say yes to more time with them, to say yes to doing things that are more fulfilling, and even to those people too that you really and truly love, learning how to say no to them when it matters. Because I don't know how many times I can express this. You are no good to other people if you don't start taking care of yourself first. You have to learn to not only say no more, but to make your no's firm. And you have to learn how to say no and be okay with it. Be unapologetic about it. Because you, at the end of the day, are the only person who's really, really going to care for yourself. As much as family and friends and your partners love you and care about you, they aren't in your body. They can't feel your energy. They can't feel your stress levels. They can only see you from an outside perspective. So you have to be able to take care of yourself, and that includes learning to use the word no more often. Again, no is a complete sentence. That's all you need. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to apologize for it. But you do need to use it more often. Love you all. Talk to you very soon.